Hi everyone, I'm Hammi. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be closing out my budget for the month of May, and May all in all was a good month for me because in terms of spending I was under budget in most of the categories, but I did go over budget and I'll come to that when I get to that. But all in all it was good. So I am happy with myself and I'd like to stay like that for the rest of the year. I budgeted the month with 65,000 rupees, and into my savings and investment category I allocated 10% of the total income, so that was 6,500 rupees, and I did actually put 6,500 rupees into my savings and investment category. I do have three subcategories under it, but I am just showing the total that I put into it, and so there is no difference. Now coming to my fixed costs and expenses, into insurance I budgeted 2460. I allocated 2460. No difference. Siblings fund got 1000 as budgeted, no difference. So there was a category in May that which I have not included in the budget for the month of June. Actually what happened was me and some of my college friends, we had a reunion and we had planned on going on a trip someday. So for that we were planning on putting away 1000 rupees each month, but nobody remembers it and I did not talk about it, so I am not doing this anymore. This money, that 1000 that I had allocated for this trip, I gave it away to somebody who was in need of money. So yes, I did use this money, so there is no difference. Room rent, I always put 4500. This was also the same. Personal loan also is same. LIC loan, I allocated 1000 for the month of May, and I did deposit 1000 into paying off this debt. Ration, I budgeted 3000. I did use 3000. And into subscription, I had budgeted 1600 for the month, and I ended up only using 1596, which means I had a balance of 4 rupees. Food and groceries, I had budgeted 5000, but the actual expense was 4915 rupees. So I had a positive balance of 85 rupees. Petrol, I budgeted 3500 and I only used 3300. So the balance that I have in my petrol category is 200 rupees. And for my clothes category, I budgeted 1000 and I did put 1000. And there's no difference. For my clothes category, this does not mean that I spent 1000 rupees in my clothes category, because clothes and my sinking fund category and my beauty category, these are all revolving funds, which means whatever amount is left in the end of the month, I always carry it over to the next month. So I allocated 1000. It's like sinking funds, but I still keep it in my fixed costs and expenses because I'm somebody who always forgets to buy clothes. If I keep it in my sinking fund or I put it in my guilt-free spending, I know I'm not going to buy clothes. So I have deliberately put this subcategory in my fixed costs and expenses because I look at it as a necessity. It might sound funny to people who spend a lot on clothes, but for me, buying clothes is like a task, and I am trying to work on it. I basically focus on work clothes because that is necessary. So coming to my sinking funds category, I budgeted 2500 for the month into my sinking fund category. I have 4 sinking funds categories, and I did put in 2500 to my sinking fund category. So there is no difference. Now into my guilt-free spending category. Beauty, I budgeted 3000 rupees. I did put 3000 rupees into it, and I still have the money in my beauty category because this is also a revolving fund. I need to get a facial done, but because I have cough and cold, so because I've not been well for the past 1.5 months, I am still waiting on it. I need to get a facial done, and also I have started coloring my hair, so I need to get some touch-up done, and I will be using the money that is in my beauty category for it. Now, in my miscellaneous category, I had budgeted 15,325, and I did try my best to not overspend this month. Now, looking at all of this, I did not go over budget in any of the category. But in my miscellaneous category, I did go over budget a little bit, and I ended up spending 19,769 rupees, which means I was over budget by 4,444 rupees. My miscellaneous category covers everything that I have not budgeted for, like say eating out or for fun spending or for expenses on my family or for household expenses and also for giving or gifting or for donations and everything. In the month of May, I did spend some money on festivities because there was a festival. And of course, when there are festivals and you invite people, you have to buy food. So there's extra expenses on that as well. I bought some new coffee mugs. I also bought some new transparent mugs where I could serve green tea. People who drink green tea do not like to drink green tea in smaller cups. That's what I have noticed so far. I like to buy individual mugs. I like having different types of mugs at home. That is something that I like to spend my money on. And then I bought a carpet for the veranda. Those are my household expenses. And the other thing was that I spent a lot of money on eating out in the month of May. So what I've been noticing so far in the month of May is that I like to have heavy breakfast in the morning. That's how I have grown up because I stay in the northeastern part of India and we don't have the culture of having light breakfast. But when I have a heavy breakfast in the morning, I'm not hungry at lunchtime. And then I don't eat anything in lunchtime. And at around 4:30 or 5 o'clock, when I'm at the clinic, I tend to get very hungry and then I go out to eat. So this has been happening. I think I have to find a middle ground where I can eat a little lighter in the morning and then a really good lunch so that I can tend to my patients in the evening. So that's where some of the money went in my miscellaneous expenses. And then the other thing was that one of my friends, she gave birth prematurely and the baby was at the ICU. So me and some of my friends, we traveled to Assam to go and visit them. She was admitted there for I think 20 days. So that is why I was over budget, but it's okay because I didn't just splurge away the money. I feel like I spent money on things that were necessary. So yeah, now when I add all this up, the budgeted amount was 65,000. I already calculated everything and I have a copy in front of me from where I'm referring to. And then the actual expense was 69,155. So the difference is, it's a negative 4,155 rupees. So the budget is 65,000, actual is 69,155 and the difference is 4,155 rupees. And this amount I got by subtracting 444 from the positive balance that I have. Now coming to my sinking funds, I have 4 categories in my sinking funds. So car maintenance started with 0 balance. I added in 1,000 for the month of May because I allocated 2,500 into my sinking funds for the month of May. Out of that, I put 1,000 to car maintenance. The total budget was 1,000. I did not spend anything. So the end balance is 1,000 rupees. And this is what I carried over to the month of June. Health and medical, also I started with 0 and then I added 1,000. The total budget for the month was 1,000 and I spent 530 rupees. This was for some over-the-counter medicines for my father and for me. When I subtract 530 from 1,000 rupees, I have a balance of 470 and this is also what I carry to the month of June. And for my pets category, I started the month with 1,242. I budgeted 500 rupees into it. So the total budget was 1,742. And I spent 350. This was to buy some pet food. Our cat gave birth to 2 kittens and so I bought some cat food for both the mother and the kittens. I usually don't buy cat food from the pets category. I usually buy pet food from my food and groceries, but since I was starting to see that if I buy pet foods from my food and groceries, I would go over budget. And I knew that I had a sinking fund sitting there. I used the money from here. And so when I subtract this, I have a balance of 1,392. Vacation, I started the month at 5,500. I did not budget anything into the vacation category for the month of May because I only allocated 2,500. That got finished here. So I did not put anything into my vacation sinking fund. So the total budget was 5,500. I did not spend anything and I still have 5,500 in my vacation sinking fund. So I started the month with 6,742 in my sinking funds category. And as I finished the month of May, I have been able to save 8,362 rupees in my sinking funds category. And this is what I'll be carrying to the month of June. So I'm really happy about my May budget. I would like to stay like this for the rest of the year. I remember I went over budget by 23,082 rupees in the month of March. And then I went over budget by 17,956 in the month of April. And in the month of May, it's come down to 4,155. So this is my budget closeout for the month of May. And if you're still here watching, thank you so much. Do not forget to press the like button and also consider subscribing if you're somebody who loves to watch other people budget or talk about their finances. I am hoping to see you soon in my next video. Until then, take care and bye bye.